The night was unnervingly silent, the kind of silence that wraps around you and makes even your own breathing feel intrusive, when Anna first heard the voice. It wasn't coming from her phone or the old radio she kept on the shelf. The voice carried a faint metallic echo, as though it were resonating from deep within the fabric of the room itself, unsettling and impossible to pinpoint. It was a whisper, threading itself into her thoughts like a melody she couldn't quite place. "You're not alone," it said, faint but clear enough to send chills down her spine. Anna lived on the outskirts of New Chicago, in a small town where the stars sparkled vividly every night. She worked as a freelance coder by day and spent her nights stargazing. Tonight, though, the stars seemed brighter, almost pulsing with a strange rhythm. She shook her head, thinking the long hours in front of her screen were finally taking their toll. But the voice returned. This time, it wasn't in her head. Her laptop screen flickered, casting a faint, erratic glow across the room, and an unfamiliar script began scrolling across the monitor. A low hum, almost imperceptible, seemed to emanate from the device, making the tiny hairs on her arms stand on end. The air felt heavier, charged with a strange static energy. It wasn't a language she recognized, but it felt alive. The symbols danced, forming patterns that seemed to tug at something deep within her, as though they were reaching into a part of her soul she hadn't known existed. Her chest tightened, a mixture of awe and unease washing over her, as if the patterns were unlocking memories or emotions she couldn't quite grasp. Then, in an instant, they translated into English. "We need your help." Her breath caught. A million questions raced through her mind. Was this some kind of advanced hack? A prank? Before she could think to unplug the laptop, the text continued, "Your species and ours are bound by threads unseen. The balance is shifting. Will you listen?" Anna's hand hovered over the keyboard. A sensible part of her screamed to close the lid and walk away, warning her of the countless dangers she couldn't even begin to fathom. Her pulse quickened, her mind darting between fear and the undeniable pull of curiosity. What if this was a trap? What if it wasn't? The weight of possibility pressed heavily on her chest, each breath a battle between reason and a strange, inexplicable yearning to know more. But curiosity, a force she could never quite tame, won out. "Who are you?" she typed, her fingers trembling. The reply came almost instantaneously. "Travelers. Observers. Guardians. We exist beyond the veil of your perception, yet we are intertwined with your world." Her mind reeled, but before she could ask more, the power in her house flickered. The lights dimmed, then surged back on, brighter than before. Her laptop screen filled with a single image, a star chart, its intricate web of glowing lines connecting constellations she knew and others she didn't. At its center was a single, pulsating star, circled by a vivid, ethereal ring that seemed almost to shimmer and move, as though alive with its own purpose. She recognized it instantly. It was the section of the sky she had been studying for months, one star in particular marked with a glowing ring. "What does this mean?" she typed frantically. The answer chilled her to the core, a convergence. A decision point. You must decide if you will follow. The room seemed to hum with energy, a deep, resonant vibration that tickled her skin and made her ears ring faintly. The air felt charged, like the moment before a lightning strike, alive with a static that raised goosebumps on her arms and sent shivers racing down her spine. Anna's heart raced. She didn't know what this was or how it was happening, but every instinct told her that ignoring it would mean losing something vital. Her hands hesitated over the keyboard, trembling as if weighed down by an invisible force. Her fingers hovered uncertainly, the air around her feeling heavy with an unspoken urgency. Her mind churned with doubt, every scenario, every potential danger, playing out like a movie reel in her head. Yet, beneath the fear, a flicker of undeniable curiosity pushed her forward. And then, the voice spoke again, softer this time, almost pleading. "The threads that bind us are fragile. If you do not act, they may unravel." Anna's thoughts swirled in a chaotic storm, images of the pulsating star, the enigmatic words on the screen, and the haunting whisper urging her forward. Her chest tightened with both fear and a strange exhilaration, as if she stood on the brink of something vast and unimaginable. Her mind screamed with questions, but her heart, gripped by an unshakable pull, made the choice before she even realized. In that heartbeat, she surrendered to the unknown. She typed a single word, yes. The moment Anna pressed enter, the world around her seemed to shift. The glow from her laptop intensified, radiating a warmth that prickled Anna's skin. A faint hum accompanied the light, growing louder as it expanded, until it engulfed the entire room with a pulsating energy that seemed to vibrate in harmony with her racing heartbeat. For a brief second, she felt weightless, as though she were floating in the vast emptiness of space. When the light subsided, she wasn't in her room anymore. Anna stood in an immense chamber, its translucent walls shimmering with unknown constellations that shifted like living mosaics. The air was crisp, cool, and carried an electric quality that sent tingles across her skin, as though tiny sparks were dancing just out of reach. It felt alive, humming faintly in her ears, and every breath she took seemed to buzz with energy, leaving her both exhilarated and unsettled. A soft hum surrounded her, a low, melodic resonance that felt alive. Before she could process where she was, her breath hitched, and her pulse quickened. A strange, cold shiver ran down her spine as a figure emerged from the shimmering walls. It wasn't human, but neither was it entirely alien. Its form was fluid, shifting subtly like a mirage, and its eyes glowed with a deep, ethereal blue. Anna felt no fear, only an overwhelming sense of awe. The figure spoke, though its mouth didn't move. The words resonated directly in her mind, clear and calming. You've crossed the threshold, Anna. You're now part of something greater than you could ever imagine. Her voice trembled as she replied, Where am I? Who are you? You are in the nexus, the figure answered. A space where threads converge, glowing with the energies of existence itself. We are the Luminals, custodians of the threads that connect all living beings across the cosmos. Anna's mind raced, a torrent of disbelief and wonder colliding within her. Her chest tightened, and her breath came in shallow bursts as she tried to grasp the enormity of what she was hearing. Questions swirled in her head, each more overwhelming than the last, and her hands trembled with a mix of fear and awe. The threads? You mean the ones you spoke about earlier? The ones binding us? The figure's glow brightened momentarily, as if affirming her understanding. Yes. These threads are the fabric of existence, binding not just your species and ours, but all life. A disturbance has arisen, and the threads are fraying. If they break, the balance that sustains life across countless worlds will collapse. Anna's pulse quickened. What does this have to do with me? I'm nobody. The figure's gaze softened, and its voice carried a profound kindness. You are far more significant than you realize. Each thread is anchored by individuals whose actions ripple across the fabric. Your connection to the pulsating star, the anomaly in your sky, is unique. It calls to you because you are its anchor. What do you mean, its anchor? Anna's words spilled out in rapid succession. What am I supposed to do? How can I possibly help with something this vast? The luminal extended a hand, or what resembled one, and an image appeared in the air between them. It was the star chart from her laptop, but this time, the glowing ring around the central star pulsated rhythmically, as though it had a heartbeat. The convergence point lies here, the figure said. The star you've studied is not just a celestial object, it is a gateway, a node where threads intersect. If the disturbance is not resolved, the gateway will collapse, severing countless threads. Anna stared at the image, the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. How do I fix it? You must journey to the node and restore its balance. The anomaly has disrupted the natural flow of energy. Only by re-establishing harmony can the threads be saved. But be warned, the disturbance is not a natural occurrence. Forces seek to unravel the threads for their own gain. A chill ran down Anna's spine. Forces? What kind of forces? The luminals glow dimmed, a sign of solemnity. We cannot say for certain, but they are ancient and cunning, thriving on chaos and destruction. Their goal is to sever the threads and reshape existence to their will. Anna's hands balled into fists, her nails digging into her palms as frustration bubbled to the surface. Why me? I've spent my life behind a screen, studying stars from a distance. There has to be someone better equipped for this, someone stronger, smarter, more experienced. What can I possibly offer? You underestimate yourself, the figure said gently. Remember when you built that star tracking algorithm from scratch, defying the odds and uncovering patterns no one else could see? That resilience and curiosity have prepared you for this moment in ways you don't yet understand. You have a strength born of resilience and curiosity, qualities that are essential for this journey. And you are not alone. Others will guide and aid you along the way. Trust the threads, they will show you the path. Before Anna could ask what that meant, the chamber shifted. The shimmering walls began to ripple like waves in a disturbed pond, their colors deepening into shades of iridescent blue and violet. The hum grew louder, resonating in her chest and making the air feel thick and charged, as if the space itself was holding its breath. In an instant, she was back in her room, her laptop glowing faintly. On the screen was a single line of text: "Prepare yourself. The journey begins." Anna exhaled shakily, her mind spinning. She had stepped into a world far beyond her comprehension, and there was no turning back now. Anna's journey to the pulsating star began with an electric jolt of urgency, as if the universe itself was propelling her toward a destiny she couldn't escape, a destiny fraught with unseen perils and immeasurable stakes. Guided by the threads invisible yet undeniable, she traversed vast distances, encountering allies like Kale, a brilliant cartographer who mapped forgotten star paths, helping her navigate treacherous voids. But not all encounters were friendly. Adversaries like the Shadow Weavers struck without warning, their attempts to sever the threads creating moments of chaos, like when they ambushed her in the ruins of an ancient star forge, forcing her to rely on quick thinking and Kale's star maps to escape. Each step brought new challenges, but also deeper understanding. The threads were not just connections, they were life itself, binding every thought, emotion, and action across the cosmos. The weight of her role as an anchor grew heavier, yet so did her determination. When she finally reached the node, it was both breathtaking and harrowing. The pulsating star loomed before her, its light fractured and unstable. Around it swirled tendrils of darkness, an ominous force that sought to unravel the threads. The Luminals warning echoed in her mind: forces thrive on chaos and destruction. The entity that emerged from the shadows was ancient and formidable, its form a shifting mass of jagged edges and swirling darkness, punctuated by glowing, malevolent eyes that burned with a deep crimson hue. A chilling, low-frequency hum surrounded it, vibrating the very air and sending a bone-deep cold through Anna, as though it were leaching the warmth from the space around her. Its movements were fluid yet jarring, as though the very fabric of reality rippled in its wake. A being of discord, it thrived on the chaos of broken connections, exuding a suffocating aura of malice that made Anna's heart pound with both fear and defiance. It spoke to Anna, its voice a dissonant blend of whispers and roars, promising power and freedom if she abandoned her mission. For a fleeting moment, doubt crept in. But then she remembered the threads she'd seen, the lives intertwined, and the harmony they represented. She had felt their strength and fragility, their beauty and necessity, as if the threads carried the whispers of countless lives, their joys and sorrows, all woven into a delicate yet unbreakable tapestry. They pulsed with a rhythm that echoed her own heartbeat, reminding her of the profound interconnectedness of all existence. Anna stood firm. With the guidance of the Luminals and the allies she'd gathered, she extended her hands outward, feeling the thread's energy coursing through her like a vibrant current. Her mind focused on the rhythms she had come to understand, a symphony of connection, and she wove their patterns with deliberate care. The threads responded, pulsing brighter with every focused breath, as if they recognized her resolve and mirrored her strength. She felt their warmth and vitality, their collective will to endure, and with a surge of determination, she directed that energy toward restoring the star's fractured light. She reached deep within herself, drawing on the resilience and curiosity that had brought her this far. The star's pulsations synchronized with her heartbeat, and the chaos began to dissipate. The threads shimmered brighter, knitting themselves back together with a strength that no force could sever. The darkness recoiled, its tendrils shrinking until they disappeared entirely. The star's light stabilized, its fractured brilliance becoming whole once more. Anna felt a profound sense of peace wash over her, as though the cosmos itself had exhaled in relief. She had restored balance to the threads and, with it, safeguarded countless lives. As the Luminals gathered around her, their glow brighter than ever, the figure she had first met spoke again. "You have done what many thought impossible. The threads are whole, and their harmony will resonate across all existence. You are forever a part of this balance, Anna. The chamber began to fade, and Anna found herself back in her room, the faint hum of her laptop the only sound. On the screen was a single message: "Thank you." She stared at it, a tear slipping down her cheek. The enormity of what she had experienced settled in, but so did a quiet satisfaction. She had been a part of something vast and extraordinary, and though her life would return to its quiet routine, she knew she was forever changed. Anna stepped outside into the night, the stars above shining brighter than she had ever seen. She looked up, a faint smile on her lips, as memories of her journey played vividly in her mind, the allies she'd met, the harmony she'd restored, and the pivotal moment when she chose to stand firm against the darkness, trusting in the thread's strength. That choice, more than anything, defined her, and she realized that even the smallest actions could ripple across the cosmos. Somewhere out there, the threads thrummed with harmony, and she was at peace knowing she had helped keep them whole. The universe felt closer, more connected, and she knew she would carry that connection with her always.